The old paradigm of equity, I'm going to have an analogy of a salad bowl because I think it works well. The old paradigm of equity says that education is a salad bowl, right? And you have various ingredients. You have lettuce, which could be strong administrators, and then tomatoes and cucumbers, which are strong teachers, and then equity is the dressing. It brings out the flavor of everything else. But if our budget is kind of uncertain, if things have to be compromised, parents are complaining, we can eat salad without the dressing. It's not a big deal. We can remove a few elements of equity and still have a relatively functioning educational system. The idea that equity is not an ingredient in the salad bowl, but is the bowl itself. Equity is education. Social justice, as this conference says, is education. That without the bowl, without equity as the bowl, everything else ends up splattered on the floor. Nothing else is just, nothing else is worthwhile, unless equity is held as the bowl, as education itself. In this new paradigm, equity is not taught alongside science and math, but becomes a part of every aspect of education as it is now. So for example, in a math test, instead of saying, Tom and his wife marry, take out a mortgage, and how much interest will they accrue after X amount of years, you could say Tom and his husband Jerry. In a French test, you could say François et ses deux mamans. Right? The idea is that equity becomes a normal part of regular academic life, of regular social life. We bring it into the sphere where students currently have to go to GSA. The barometer of success in our schools is how well the least well-off student is doing, the student who is most marginalized, the student who is doing the worst academically. The barometer of our education system and its achievement is measured by that student. So let us keep that in mind, and I hope that you all can share with me this fearless persistence to make equity a reality in Ontario.
Equity and inclusion have everything to do with learning, because if you don't have the basic necessities, which is confidence, motivation, encouragement, you can't go forward with anything in your life. So you need support in any way, shape, or form you can get.
I learned how to run, actually, by getting chased on the playground every single recess of every single day with the threat of getting beat up. That was my childhood.
I stand beside them and they just all went away. I smelled myself. I was like, am I smelling or something? No, it's not that. They're just judging my skin.
Going to school was like a pain for me. I have to skip class every 3 days in a week just because of the names I was getting, the nagging I was getting in school. So after I finished high school, I was planning to apply for college, and I said no way.
I have to remind myself all the time not to assume something about why a student isn't coming to class or why a student isn't doing well on tests because they're lazy or because they don't understand. There are so many things going on with each and every person that walks through the class door.
I always look at it as how would I like my own children to be treated in school. And I would hope that every person's child, when they go to school, has an opportunity to be free of any barriers and anything that's going to keep them from fulfilling their potential.
It's important for the kids to see us doing activities that might not be viewed as strictly male activities.
If you can, be open and think how many students it's helping.
Letting the students know that we're in the process of learning if we don't know about something or if we're not necessarily comfortable with something, It doesn't mean it's bad, it means we're in the process of learning and understanding better, because that's what it is to be an educator, I think.
As a teacher, it's my responsibility to, you know, kind of call people on it as soon as I hear it. And so, but the trick always is not to, you know, punish someone or kind of embarrass them, but to educate them.
It wouldn't be okay to say, you know, that's so black or that's so Jewish or anything like that either. And sometimes when you qualify it in those terms, then they start to get it.
Interrupted every time, and recognize that diversity is all the diversity issues. That if you let homophobia happen in your classroom, you are also letting racism happen in your classroom. You're also letting ableism happen in your classroom, and you're letting faith-based discrimination happen in your classroom. You have to do it all together.
Everyone has the right to be safe,
Strong,
and free.